Once there was a Monday, like this Monday, but not this Monday. And once there was a world, like this world, but not this world. And on that Monday, in that world, there lived two brothers, Larry and Jim. Now Larry, he had made his fortune writing songs for the Eurovision Song Contest. Jim, however, he had not written any prize-winning songs. He lived a life of dejection and poverty. Until one day, Jim happened upon a plan, and the plan was turnips. Jim planted seeds for hundreds of turnips, and he reaped the harvest of almost 100 turnips. But one of these turnips, well, it didn't stop growing. The turnip grew and grew and grew until it was the biggest turnip that had ever existed in the whole world. And Jim, he wasn't entirely sure what to do with his giant turnip, but what he did was carry it to the king. And he presented it to the king, who accepted it gratefully and put it in his turnip shed. And the king said to Jim, "Jim, thank you. Thank you for this generous gift. In return, I give you this treasure." And Jim was happy, and he carried the treasure away and showed it to his brother Larry. Now Larry was sure that if Jim got such riches in return from the king for a turnip, albeit quite a big one, he would surely get something incredibly special if he gave the king a real gift, a roll of silver, for example. So off Larry went with his roll of silver and presented it to the king. And the king said, "Thank you. Thank you, Larry. This is a generous gift indeed. And I feel there is only one thing special enough, one thing grand enough, one thing big enough that I could give you in return." And yes, he gave Larry the giant turnip. Larry carried it home, and he was pretty angry to begin with. He showed it to his brother. He said, "What are we going to do with this lousy turnip?" But together they hatched an idea, and together they created an award-winning brand of artisan turnip soup, and neither were ever hungry nor poor ever again. And that's the end of Jim and Larry and the turnip, for a little while at least.